can we create an S-corp to help mitigate, minimize tax burden, or any other recommendations on when to create an S-corp or other options. Here domestically in the US, an LLC, you can elect to be taxed as an S-corp. So you're going to get the limited liability from that corporation, which you would get from the S-corp also. And you're also going to get pass-through taxation. So that means you're not going to get taxed at the corporate level. And then again, at the personal level, the taxes flow through onto your personal return. So if you make a bunch of money in the corporation, that just flows through to you as the individual, but you're going to get the full breadth of the tax code at the corporate level to be able to offset those tax implications. There's some nuances that go along with that. And you do have to pay yourself a reasonable salary here in the US, which most of the time somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000. That can also be paid to your spouse. You are going to have to pay W-2 taxes on that portion that you're paying out. And you can have a non-profitable corporation for 2 to 3 years. It's called disregarded entity. And that's fine in the eyes of the IRS. Just get with your CPA to make sure you're filing your tax return the right way. Most of the time we don't set up S-corps. And the reason for that is if you own crypto inside of a C-corp or an S-corp, if you are in a lawsuit and somebody does win the lawsuit against you and they take control of your stock, they can liquidate your assets. Not good. Don't want that. You want equity units. You want the protections of an LLC, and you want it set up in the right jurisdiction. We most of the time set people up in Wyoming because there's really strong creditor protection there in Wyoming. You get charging order protection very similar to Nevada, which is where I am today. In addition to that, the regulation in Wyoming is very favorable for digital assets. So, the other thing about an S-corp that's not so great is a trust cannot own it. Another entity cannot own it. It has to be an individual owner. So if you want to move this inside of your living trust, no go. If it's an S-corp LLC, no problem. You can move the ownership into your trust. So for those reasons, 99.9% of the time, it doesn't make sense to structure your holding company that's going to manage your assets if the assets are going to be held in that company as an S-corp. Sometimes we will see people set up a C-corp that is the management entity that manages the LLC and the assets beneath it. If you're making a lot of money and a lot of money is rolling up to that C-corp, you can put your Libby trusts on there, and those can be, own the stock of that C-corp. And we do that in more, advanced estate planning with some of our larger clients that are, planning on executing pretty significant sell orders or are going to use the assets to reduce income north of $1 million a year.